Hello, Sherry Hatton, and I'm here today to talk to y'all about diabetes. And diabetes is a growing epidemic here in America. You probably know someone, either in your family or a friend, that has been recently diagnosed with diabetes. And unfortunately, it is causing a lot of health problems and is causing a lot of issues for families now that are faced with having to make changes in their lifestyle because of this disease. That for some it can be controlled, and for some you have to take insulin. Now, there are two types of diabetes, and one type is type 1 diabetes. And type 1 diabetes is when your body will no longer make insulin that it needs to regulate your blood sugar. And then type 2 diabetes is when your body is resistant to insulin. So, you could be diagnosed with either. Generally, when you have diabetes type 1, you have to take insulin shots. And that is so that your body can regulate your sugar. In type 2 diabetes, generally you can start off with just taking some form of medicine by mouth. You don't have to do the insulin shots. Sometimes, though, if you're not careful, it can progress into having to take insulin. Okay, but anyway, that's basically what my project is about. Is I'm talking to you about diabetes. One of the reasons I chose this is my family's been affected by diabetes. Well, my father, he has diabetes. He has type 2 diabetes, but because he thought he could eat anything you want and take the medicine to lower his blood sugar, he did not maintain it. He was not doing what the doctor told him to. So it's very important that you learn that once you've been diagnosed with diabetes, that you really got to watch what you eat. You really just have to cut back on your sugar. You have to follow your doctor's advice. You have to get your regular checkups. You have to do your AC1. You have to have your blood checked on a regular basis so that we know how your body's doing. My brother, which was kind of an odd case, he had went to the dentist, and the dentist did a root canal. In the process of getting the root canal, some poison had got into his bloodstream, and that pretty much made his body become septic, and because of that, his pancreas no longer worked. So he actually was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, but luckily he did survive through everything, and with diet and going to the doctors regularly, he's being able to control it, and he's planning on recovering fully and not be insulin dependent soon. But anyway, this is sit back. I've got a program here with a lot of information, and also, you may know someone in your family that has diabetes, and this might be some information that would be important for you to learn. One other person that was affected by diabetes in my family was a good friend of mine, a neighbor actually, and he recently passed away. He had type 1 diabetes, and he suffered with that a lot. He struggled. He lost a lot of his toes, and his eyesight was bad. He had a lot of the complications that are a result of the diabetes, and his health he struggled. His health was never 100%. He was one of those cases where the diabetes just had control over his body, and unfortunately, his body resistance, he couldn't fight off a lot of infections, and unfortunately, the infections became a bigger toll on him, and his body could not fight it. So unfortunately he passed away. Of course, a lot of times when things like that happen, they don't actually say diabetes was the cause of death. It was from an infection, but the infection was started from the diabetes. So, it's one of those things that if you trace it back, okay, well, diabetes was the big problem. But I've got a lot of information here, so sit back and enjoy.